everything is going. Whenever you guys want to get started.
That's your reply to what I'm going to say. No, you're just going to say, like, no, that's a new untold story. Yeah. Okay. Hey, is that story old or told? Fuck no, baby! That's a new untold story. A new untold story. It's a fresh bake untold story. A new untold story.
All right, a new Untold Story episode 4 something.
Episode 443.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that soon. But we're here with the effortlessly tall and white Francis Ellis.
That's right.
Who's also muscular, successful, stylish, handsome, wise, intelligent. What trait do you want that you don't have?
Oh gosh. That's a tough one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
True love, children wouldn't be a trait.
No, that's not a trait.
No.
Characteristic.
But there could be like a sperm count thing.
Gosh, traits. I don't know. A little more self-confidence. Believe it or not.
You said more. You have it.
I don't think that I do. I think people are unaware. It seems that I do, but that's all probably a smokescreen for a deeply fragile lack of self-worth.
Homosexual.
They're synonymous.
Yeah, you're right.
Show me a confident gay man, and I'll show you a straight guy at heart.
Those are wise words. Those are wise words. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I love coming on the show. You guys are the best.
Wow, man. Thank you. You're here for mini golf, but you're also here because we've talked about it a little bit. You're penning Dave's book.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's great. Dave is also penning Dave's book.
Of course. Yeah.
And, have
you talked about some of the more uncomfortable things?
No, we're not too far into it. But I kind of have learned that is also something that probably better to not talk about it too much as we develop.
You're just going to write about it in great detail and slide the pages to him.
Well, he is also writing a lot of it. So I don't want people to think that I'm,
I don't think people think that.
The only one doing it. This is Dave's book. It's his story. And obviously that's how he built the company, was his writing.
Yeah.
The first many issues of the Barstool newspaper hysterically were all written by him and often under fake aliases to give the perception that there were multiple writers on staff.
He is a very funny writer.
Yes.
He's not a joke guy.
You wouldn't believe, as you go back and read a lot of his old work, you wouldn't believe, you become very, I feel like a method actor studying tapes to try to learn to speak like that person for a biopic.
Okay.
Because I'm writing...
It's kind of the same thing, yeah.
When I'm writing as Dave and
trying to use his voice.
Yes, and he starts so many sentences with well. But he doesn't put...
Why is that funny to me?
He doesn't put a comma after the well.
Well...
He goes, well, I did this. Well, let me tell you something.
No kidding.
And it's just very folksy and colloquial, and I like it.
That's what started with the so.
Yeah. And that's fine.
There's a lot of so's.
I don't mind the so's, but there are a lot of so's. I mean, the well is what I really made me
You're right
laugh.
about that. He's so it's casually matter of fact, and you can tell it's so authentic that he didn't put any thought into crafting some funny sentence or jokes,
but it comes off as
so
funny
fun,
and
right.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun to immerse yourself in the language of your boss. But how are you guys?
Are you going to write about firing you?
To be honest with you, it's all just up to Dave.
Yeah.
It's just his book and what he thinks warrants.
But you having to write yourself as this, I had to fire this colossal douchebag moron.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
That would be funny. I
believe you.
I believe you.
At this
Thank
point,
you for the third time.
Now
you could do it in the in memory part.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know if that was a big deal to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? it was obviously a big deal to me, but I don't know if that meant anything and if that was a ripple in the
So what would hurt worse
timeline
if
of
you were just like, hey,
Barstool.
what do you want me to do for this? And then he's just like, oh, I don't care about that at all. That's not a part of my story whatsoever.
I would prefer that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know that I need to revisit that again in great detail. And the book is going to be read by lots of people who are not that familiar with Barstool. That's
true.
the goal. So I don't necessarily want to introduce my sordid story to so many, airline passengers picking up the book at Hudson News.
All right. Quick little tiny break to talk about Game Time. I used Game Time this past weekend to go to the Cubs with Mook, Joey Avery, and Chef Donnie.
Took a foul ball off the pinky.
Yes, he did. Yes, you should have caught that, man.
No.
But there's nothing more fun. Like, whenever there's the day of an event, I wake up so excited. I had the outfit laid out on bed.
You're thinking about
And
the
it's something that it takes the day, and the day revolves around it, and it's just a day built for fun. And it all started
with Game Time.
with Game Time, Kyle. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app usually go down the closer it gets to showtime. Plus, on April 22nd for Earth Day, when you select a purchase a super deal, Game Time will plant a tree with the proceeds. That's not too bad. That's nice. You're saving the world and going to have fun. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code UNTOLD, UNTOLD, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code UNTOLD for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Okay, little break to talk about DraftKings. UFC 314 is headed to South Beach. And it won't be all glitz and glamour, but the stars will be out. Don't miss the action of DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sportsbook betting partner of UFC. Promises another banger night of fights, especially the featherweight main event between two evenly matched fighters. It's your first time? Just pick something simple like a fighter to win and make your pick. It's that simple. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 and get $150 of bonus bets instantly. I use DraftKings a good bit. I bet on Jack Sawinski to hit a home run every game for the Pirates.
The prop bets like that makes life just so much better.
Yeah. It's the only way I can take watching Pirates games now.
The live betting. It's
Oh
so
my
good.
God. Yes.
Yeah, and the Masters live betting.
Oh my God. Yes. That'll be great.
my God.
Masters
And
coming up.
UFC is so fun to bet.
Yes. It makes
Oh
you
my
feel,
God.
it's like you're a gladiator. It's like you're in the arena in ancient Rome watching gladiators go at it.
It's amazing.
Step into the octagon with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code UNTOLD, UNTOLD. That's code UNTOLD for new customers. Get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Enough about the book, because I don't want to spoil it or get you or especially us in trouble.
Sure.
What episode number is it, Kyle?
443, that is an overlay area code for Baltimore and a large swath of Eastern Maryland, the 410. I think on the 410 episode, we may have briefly talked about Baltimore, but I want to talk about Maryland as a whole real quick.
Okay. Have you familiar with Maryland?
Deeply familiar. My sister lives there.
Now, I think I might have I don't know if it's equatorial, but a tropical take about Maryland.
Tell
I
me.
think an argument can be made that it is the best state
Maryland?
overall.
The best overall state.
Yes.
It has Baltimore.
That's the only downside is the crime and poverty in Baltimore.
Okay.
I think as a whole, if you look at everything, it's the most well-rounded, good state.
You're going to get Maryland. People from Maryland fucking love Maryland.
They do.
You know exactly what you're doing.
But I actually think it is.
Why?
Let's see. Most of it is just affluent suburbs of DC and Baltimore.
Yeah.
So the education is great. Go to a good private high school, go to a good college, the Naval Academy. It has good towns like Annapolis. It has a very diverse geography.
You're trying to go viral on Maryland talk right now.
For how small it is, it's America in miniature. It has the Eastern Seaboard, the Chesapeake Bay, the Appalachian Mountains. You can ski. It has marshlands, farmlands. What else? It has the best signature food of any state.
Crab cake?
Yes.
No.
What's better?
What's better than crab? A lot of foods.
What
A
state?
lobster roll
What
in Maine.
state signature food is better than Maryland?
I would say a lobster roll in Maine beats
Green
a crab
chili,
cake.
Colorado.
not green chili.
Yes.
Maybe a lobster roll, but then they also have blue crab.
Is that another? They can't have two state foods.
I think they kinda
Maryland
do.
and crab cakes. It's Maryland and crab cakes. And no.
I think crab cake might be the best food, period.
The best food?
The best single food, period.
That's just not.
That is insane.
That's crazy.
Okay, then it's top 3.
It's not even the best seafood.
It's not the best cake. It's not the best crab.
So the fact that we're even debating this means that it has to be like somewhat true.
No, that's no.
The fact that we're having
That's straw man. That's straw man.
the fact that we're even having to debate this.
That's straw man.
Yeah.
Isn't straw man when you sort of is it not when you blame someone or something as a way of diverting attention from something else?
He was straw man.
You like invent.
You straw
I
man.
think you invent something.
Like a straw.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did.
We have no clue. God, we're
No.
dumb.
You
We're really-
accusing me of straw man is a logical fallacy in itself. We're having this great debate back and forth. That means
You just said the fact that we're debating it means it must be true.
This is not a great debate.
It must have good merit then.
This
We're
is you-
debating this. We're having such
You're the only reason the debate is continuing because they are trying to shut it down.
That's what
and
makes
you
a great
say,
debate. That's
See,
the fact that that's what I'm
discourse,
saying.
opposite opinions, perfect.
Some of the best towns, probably the most per capita attractive state.
Maryland?
That just cannot.
Oh, dude, what?
What state is more attractive than
I
Maryland?
can name a few. California.
You're thinking of the top tier of California. You're thinking of the top 25%.
So you're
California has San Bernardino and Bakersfield.
Yes, but Maryland has, Baltimore.
Which, I mean, if you look at the Baltimore Metro as a whole, very wealthy, very attractive, very successful, very educated.
You think it's the best looking state?
per average.
Are you saying
no.
Are you
Southern
saying, Are you
states.
setting
Southern
up
All
Bells.
southern states.
Southern Bells.
Well, no, Southern Bells, but
No,
then they have
Southern
big
has
fatsas.
obesity.
Obesity and out the walls.
Poverty.
Yeah, well, I think you could say
What about
this
Florida?
any-
It's got to be one of the most, I think it is one of the most richest states. If you take out Baltimore, it would be. Florida has Floridians.
Arizona.
Arizona has desert hicks.
They do.
Cactus
They
people.
have some,
Are cactus people? Are there a lot of cactus
They have
people?
some
They live in the shade.
Goatee
Don't
having ass
know.
motherfuckers.
Wealthy. Yeah, Maryland's the wealthiest state, but does that equate to
it has
looks?
one of the best party beach towns in Ocean City.
Ocean City.
It
Ocean
has one
City's
of the
cool.
best.
Ocean City's awesome.
One of the best locations. It's close to New York. It's close to Philly. It's close to the American South.
I will say this in Maryland's defense. I do like the fact that Baltimore and DC are so close to each other, but completely distinct cities.
There we go.
I like that.
Exhibit
he's acting
Z.
like he's acting like you proved.
I
his
think we've
point.
done it.
just because it's
I
close
think,
to DC.
I think we've collectively done it.
I was just there. I was just in Baltimore a couple weeks ago. The waterfront in Fells Point, that area with its cobblestone streets,
Oh,
brick row houses.
Have you ever been?
The whole
No.
harbor of Baltimore, quite lovely. It's coming up. I think it is coming up. However, I was staying within a 5-minute walk of the comedy club, and every single person there who came to the shows told me, take an Uber.
Wow.
because it's a city of gradients where like the wealth is on top of the poverty. There's no like, oh, the wealthy people are outside and the poverty people are central.
Are you saying like literal gradients, like a shade
gradient?
I don't know if that's why people were telling me to take an Uber. They were saying take an Uber
But
because
what major city doesn't have that issue?
That's true.
I can walk 100 blocks in New York. I'll see some crazy stuff, but I'm not that worried that I'm going to get
All right, Maryland's
mugged.
top 2, maybe 1.
State as a whole.
Well, what
Off dog shit flag.
Best flag.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's busy and ugly. No, it's distinctive and iconic.
Oh my god.
What would you argue is also a contender?
Oh, dude, it looks like an optical. It looks like a magic eye.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It looks European and graceful and cool.
Why do you want it to look
What is that?
European?
That's the Klan
Because
version.
the rest of the state flags are so dog shit. They look like
No, New Mexico.
bad painting. New Mexico is good. Colorado is good. Arizona is good.
This
Colorado might be the best state.
is the best state as a whole. Landlocked. Landlocked will knock it.
Colorado has like virtual Nebraska. For a large part of it is just Nebraska.
Yeah, yeah. Most of Colorado's
see what-
Nebraska.
Did you see what Mook searched there?
What did he search? Did he forget the L?
He forgot the L.
Did Rudy pop up?
Yeah.
I was wondering why pictures of me just
It's Rudy's Instagram direct.
Maryland has the most legends and goats.
The most legends and goats. What?
You could even say Baltimore, but I will include the whole state. Maryland has the most goats. And I'm not talking about, oh, he's the goat of this.
This is absurd.
You want me to go through them?
I know you're going to regardless
You
of
guys
what I
can say goat, legend, or none of the above.
Okay.
Michael Phelps.
Goat.
Goat, most decorated man.
Why are
of
you
all
disagreeing with me when I say
He's not because he's not just a goat.
You're being
you said
very.
goat
You
like
said
it stopped
you,
there.
It was multiple choice, asshole.
He is the best at anything.
I said goat.
So I think he is.
You're very combative.
He's the best at anything that anyone has ever been.
No,
Not just sports.
No, he's not the best at anything anyone's
Not
ever.
just sports.
You think he's the best?
In our lifetime,
He's the best at
he's the
his
best
thing.
at his thing. He's the best, most dominant. Maybe
No.
J.K. Rowling
what?
for wizard fiction.
No, there's a.
No, she would probably
It's a
dominate.
pretty decent thing he pulled there.
She probably dominates wizard fiction sales.
Damn it.
She might have 1 billion more copies sold than the next best wizard fiction author. But Phelps,
No way, J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah, what?
is he wizard fiction?
Yeah, he's wizard
He's
fiction.
orc fantasy.
Rude.
How were you prepared for
Trying to
that?
piss us off, man.
Phelps is 23 gold medals, the best athlete of all time. Then they have the female goat, Katie Ledecky,
No.
the most decorated.
Serena is the female
most
goat.
decorated chick of all time.
Serena's the female goat.
No, Katie's the most dominant.
Yeah, but maybe it's less competitive in her field.
I think Serena's more dominant than Katie Ledecky.
I think Katie's dominated more. But the fact that we're even having. If
so
you look
angry.
up Katie Ledecky's
Are you
stats,
from Maryland?
If you look up Katie Ledecky's stats on Google, the results are bone chilling. You'll see
Look up-
she has the top 25 best times in her.
Some of her times are faster than Phelps, right?
I doubt that.
And yet she has 10 silvers.
Yeah. That's
She has
not
10 silvers.
10 silvers is a lot.
2 bronzes.
Yeesh.
That means that there were 10 people who beat the goat.
Or it could be less.
She's okay. So we have 2 goats, Babe Ruth from Baltimore, legend and goat.
The game's changed a lot.
Okay, Tupac,
Okay.
both
What do you mean legend,
legend and
goat?
goat.
He's from Baltimore?
He did his thing in Baltimore.
You can see you can't. Where's he from?
He started rapping. He started getting into the arts at the Baltimore School of the Arts.
Are you including DC as part of Maryland?
If they grew up in Maryland,
Okay.
So not DC.
not the actual district.
I don't know what you mean by that.
So none of these people have been from DC.
No, but I was going to throw in Dave Chappelle, who is from DC,
Okay,
because he is a goat.
trust me, he can sit this one out and he will still be good.
Okay.
God.
Edgar Allan Poe,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Muggsy Bogues.
No.
Muggsy-
The goat what?
Muggsy Bogues is the best basketball player of all time. Not the most successful.
Just the fact that he made it
He
to
was
the NBA.
5'3", did 15 seasons, 100+ double-doubles.
So you think skill wise he's the
I
best?
think he is. I think he has to be.
Because of his
One season, he averaged 4 rebounds per game. He's shorter than Lucy Liu.
Yeah, but that was back when the rims were stiffer, so the ball would bounce all over the court. And he
Then-
would run out and get it.
We'll explain the points and assists.
He was
and
basically a
steals.
ball boy. He was a tennis ball
Do you
boy
think he's not?
on a basketball court.
He would stand in the corner with his hands behind his back.
Yeah, just wait.
There it is. And run out and get it. And then he'd hand it to one of the actual players.
All right, so he is a legend.
He's not the best basketball player of all time.
I think he's the most skilled. He's 5'3". Imagine if he was a foot taller.
You're saying he's the best basketball player.
Do you think he
still
would be
be
the
very
best basketball player of all time if he was a foot taller?
I think.
I don't know if I can disagree with that.
So legend and GOAT.
No, he's not GOAT.
I think he has to be.
No, you said none of the above.
No, Kyle thinks he has to
Okay.
be.
All right. John Wilkes Booth.
The GOAT what? Actor?
GOAT assassin.
His
He's
brother
the goat.
brother was the big actor.
Was he big?
His brother was the most decorated actor in the country.
Didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. and was celebrated and
Wow.
beloved. And
Did it ruin
people say
everything
that-
for him?
People say that part of what made John Wilkes so unhappy was that he lived forever in his brother's shadow. One other quick fun fact. Did you guys know this?
I know. The bed, the deathbed, or the brother that saved the life.
I don't know either of those facts, but I'm excited to hear
So
those.
we're about to go tit for tat.
Okay. Well, I only have tit. And it sounds like you have
Okay, give
tat
me tit.
and Tatooine.
Yeah, that's right.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ulysses S. Grant,
Okay.
the Civil War hero and runaway favorite to succeed Lincoln as president at this time.
Mm-hmm.
The war had just ended, was visiting D.C. and visiting Lincoln, and was supposed to go to Ford Theater that night to sit in the box next to Lincoln. And Wilkes Booth and two of his cronies, they had a team hit out on Lincoln, Grant, and I think Seward or Stanton. It was the Secretary of State or the Secretary of War.
Okay.
So they were trying to take out the entire like line of succession of
the president.
the North,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
That's insane.
And Mary Todd Lincoln was
Ugh.
such a bitch
Yeah.
that Julia Grant, Ulysses' wife, said, "I can't stand to be at a play with her. I don't want to go." And so that is why Ulysses and his wife ended up not going to the play.
Would they have been killed as well?
There's two schools of thought. One is that he would have been shot as well. Two is that he being there would have meant there would have been more than one shitty police officer guarding the booth,
Oh,
and they would have
Lincoln
stopped
wouldn't have been
them.
killed. Oh,
or
shit.
that Grant was such a brilliant soldier himself, he would have been more perceptive to the threat and have stopped it.
Oh,
And
would-
he
Wow.
He would've gone,
wondered,
That's Mark Wahlberg.
Like Neo mode.
yeah, he
would've
wondered
dodged the bullet.
throughout his life if he had gone, would he have been able to fully change the course of history?
Is this proven that they were supposed to be there?
Not only is it proven, there is also proof that as Grant and his wife were taking their carriage to the train station to leave DC in the afternoon before the play, John Wilkes Booth on a horse rode up alongside the carriage, looked in the window at him, stared at him a while, and then rode off.
Oh my
Came face to face with him.
Chilling.
Wow, imagine.
What? Yeah. What would have happened?
Yeah, he
What were
wasn't
the
gonna
re-
he
what were
wasn't
the
gonna kill him in
repercussions?
the street there because he was gonna go kill Lincoln.
But what would the repercussions be if they did get the whole line of secession?
Well, Andrew Johnson becomes vice president, and Andrew Johnson was so pro-South that you could argue Reconstruction doesn't happen at all.
Oh my God.
And that all the policies that Lincoln had wanted in the aftermath of the Civil War, which Grant carried forward in his 2 terms as president, might never have happened.
So was this still during the time where the vice president was the loser of the election?
That's a good question.
Because there's no way that would, like, of course,
I don't
every
think
president
so.
would get killed if the person with opposing views. What a bad idea.
I don't think that is the. I don't think that was how. I think it was that they chose. I think they chose running mates at this
Okay.
point.
So the moral of the story is that bitch wives are necessary.
A bitch wife could save your life.
Mary Todd Lincoln is a crazy figure in history who,
She's fucking
by all
hideous.
accounts, was like a nightmare to be around.
Oh, I didn't know anything about her.
Oh, people hated her. She was incredibly jealous of Ulysses S. Grant's renown and popularity,
Her husband was Abraham Lincoln.
and didn't want Grant to usurp her husband Lincoln's sort of.
Wow.
So is she the
Clout.
goat bitch?
Is she the?
She's up there. There's a play on Broadway right now called "Oh Mary" that is
but it's about
receiving
Lincoln
critical.
being gay.
Oh, I think it's about Mary Todd.
I thought, isn't there one about Lincoln being gay?
Did they suggest that in the play? I don't know.
I don't.
haven't
There's a
seen
whole
it.
book about Abraham Lincoln being a gay man.
Everyone's talking about this play, and
Is
it's
Oh Mary about? Does that have? Did Feidelberg go to see it? Because I was talking to him about a Lincoln play.
Mm.
Yeah.
New plane. Okay, so yeah.
is that? But that's
queer
not.
lens.
Is that Oh Mary the play?
No, what's
something
this
else.
one called?
Place.
Lavender and Men.
Lavender
Yeah,
and Men.
that's
Wow.
Sufficiently gay. as a
Yeah, that'll
title.
do it.
All right, what's yours?
Yeah, wait, yeah,
Match
beat
your
that.
Shit. Match your shit. Go on, Kyle.
I'll accept the tit. I'll cede to the tit.
But what are your tats?
Just boring shit.
Oh,
Like
okay.
John Wilkes slept on the bed that Abraham died in.
Ugh, what?
It's a
How did he get access to that?
Hotel bed across the street. He stayed there once.
Oh, before Abraham Lincoln died in it.
hmm Abraham saw John Wilkes Booth act in a play. And I think Abraham's son was saved by Wilkes Booth's brother, or vice versa.
Okay. Interesting.
The life was saved
So they've crossed
in battle?
paths.
on train track.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we're calling him a goat.
I don't know if I've ever heard someone depluralize train tracks.
On a train track.
He's been listening to a lot of Pat.
He was only on the left rail. And I
Come
care
on,
one
about those
single
types
track.
of details.
Come on,
Um,
gee.
Is he the goat assassin though?
I think he has to
The
be.
goat assassin hasn't been caught.
Well, he's the goat.
Nobody knows
He's
about
the goat assassin.
Okay, fine.
No, there is a samurai guy that had like 200 bodies.
Yeah, but how many goats did he kill?
Quality over quantity.
Sure.
Kyle, you mentioned that Michael Phelps is the greatest achiever, the greatest person of all time.
Of our lifetime.
Who would you put up there in history against him? There's one name that comes to mind.
One of the emperor, Alexander.
Alexander the
Great.
Great is truly the one. Yeah.
So okay.
I would say Einstein.
Yeah,
Dude, he called black holes. That's crazy.
that's wild to do. Alexander the Great did some crazy shit.
And that's just pure intuition. I don't know the half of or the 10th of what he did.
No,
Caesar's got to be up there. One of the Caesars.
Okay.
you think?
Right?
That was in an era where there was not too much parody in success.
There wasn't much parity in the success game.
Sure.
That's a good point.
I think Phelps is historically disrespected too. He doesn't get the credit he deserves.
I think it's because it's swimming.
Yes,
Remember,
and that Usain Bolt was also running concurrently, and a lot of people prefer him as a champion.
It's more relatable.
He was vilified
You can
for
understand speed on land, I think.
Michael Phelps?
he was
For
vilified
smoking
for
a bong.
Smoking a
hitting
bong.
a bong.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
acted like he hit a bong Jun Ho with a punch. Remember that?
Did the bong hit?
They
we
were like,
brought it up.
holy shit, he's a piece of shit. He smoked weed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Same with Laramie Tunsil, the offensive tackle.
Who's that?
He was supposed to get drafted really high, and then somebody hacked into his Twitter and tweeted out him wearing a bong gas mask.
And then he was drafted even higher.
The,
Did he go? Oh.
The Old Miss guy, right?
Yeah, he wasn't old. Yeah, somebody
yeah,
tweeted
he
that. But look,
He was undeniably smoking weed.
that's that one's. Dude, he looks like a plague doctor.
He wasn't just around it or holding it. He's
That screen
quite
grab,
a-
that screen grab has one of my favorite things that is not often seen, and that is when a bigger fella has a shirt that is also suffering the effects of obesity.
Yeah, it's got
Yes.
that's. I don't think that's was meant to be a V-neck.
It is not
that's
a
a
V-neck.
sag and collar.
That's a sag and C. Yeah,
This dropped on draft night.
yeah.
too.
Draft night from his account.
They said he
Imagine what
lost
his agent thought.
millions of dollars, right? But he has gone on to have a very decorated NFL
Very good career,
So
yes.
I do feel good about how that has aged.
Mhm.
But just from his own account is really funny. All right, Stinky, listen up. Mando, it's the whole body deodorant, safe to use anywhere on your body, your pits, your balls, your thigh folds, your belly button, your butt crack, and your feet. KB, what's the stinkiest part of your body?
It's probably my ball hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? You
Spray
can
it
use
with Mando. Have my balls
Spray,
smelling like
rub.
armpits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Choose from a variety of fresh scents like bourbon leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, or Pro Sport. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack if you use code ANUS, ANUS, at shopmando.com, SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. All right, sleepyheads, wake up and get yourself a cup of Stella Blue coffee. We believe good coffee is one of life's non-negotiables. It's the first thing I look forward to when I wake up in the morning. It's time to stop drinking those boring, tasteless, big coffee beans and turn to Stella Blue. Stella Blue's delicious coffee roasts are available in cold brew, K-Cups, ground, whole bean formats to seamlessly fit into your morning coffee routine. The best part is a portion of the proceeds from every purchase benefit Paws Chicago. That's where Clyde is. Clive? Clive. So help Clive and get yourself Paws. Paws helps more than 5,000 dogs and cats every year. It's home to the nation's largest medical hospital for homeless pets. Enjoy Stella Blue coffee by using the QR code in the bottom of the screen or by visiting StellaBlueCoffee.com and use promo code UNTOLDSTORY, UNTOLDSTORY, for 20% off orders 25 or more. Or purchase Stella Blue coffee on Amazon for next day delivery. Stella Blue coffee, great purpose, better coffee.
Legend or goat, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Neither.
Yeah, that was a decoy.
God damn it. What?
We almost fell for it.
Some aren't.
Oh, wow. That would have been so embarrassing if I said she was a goat.
She's starting to look more and more like Obama.
She does.
She's the Michael Jordan of Larsa Pippins.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, she is. Like, she's like, she goes on podcasts and talks about like exes and how she loved to fuck them and stuff. Like she
just doesn't love Will.
No.
Which is
She fucked
crazy.
Tupac, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She's
She
been on a podcast talking about that.
August
How that was her like,
Alsina.
yeah,
That was tough.
Alopecia too,
she does.
brother.
What? Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame. Why'd you throw that decoy in there?
Because like some of these superstars from Maryland aren't legends and goats, but
Okay.
Most are. Cal Ripken Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I get no. Goat at what?
Attendance.
Attendance.
Yeah.
The attendance goat.
Frederick Douglass, goat male slave. Harriet Tubman, goat female slave.
Wait,
He's not wrong about
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Frederick Douglass is a big fucking deal. I kind of didn't realize how big of a deal he was.
When did you open your eyes to Douglas?
I'm reading this Grant biography.
Oh,
It's 958 pages, and I have 58 pages to go.
wow.
So you learned most of what you could learn.
Well, that's how I had all those Grant facts.
I like the Grant
I
facts.
love those facts.
But Douglas is a big deal.
Yeah, he's like one of the guys we know from that movement.
He's got a good look. Stern
Does he? I don't know
look.
what he looks like.
I'm with you on that. That's where
He's-
that's
He's
where
never
my,
smiling.
That's where my knowledge begins and ends.
It's Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther.
There's a 100-year gap between black guys that anyone knew.
Dude, it's like
When Frederick died, it would be a while.
Ireland didn't have any inventions for 300 years after the invention of whiskey.
Is that true?
Yeah.
just didn't
They
produce
just didn't have anything else. There was also probably some shit going on there, but yeah, there was a 100-year gap between famous black guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who's in the middle of
Who
that.
can we sandwich in that 100 years?
No, they were definitely. It was Jesse Owens before MLK.
Oh man, that might be like the same.
Well, wasn't Jesse Owens in? Am I wrong? Hitler.
Hitler
Yeah.
watched him
Yeah.
run.
So-
So, okay, so it's
For
that's the
Olympics.
So that would be before. And Jesse Owens. We all
Jesse
know.
Owens was a conservative Republican.
I would say that's like borderline. You could argue that Jesse Owens' achievement at the Olympics rivals Michael Phelps because of the political impact. God, that was a gay sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gay.
What's the political impact?
I mean,
He didn't get
dunked
stage
on
fright in
Hitler.
front of Hitler. Would you be nervous performing in front of him? If you were podcasting, he was right there,
Hitler was right there.
right there watching you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would.
yeah.
What if you were way funnier?
He was laughing. I would want to make him laugh.
Would you want to
Yeah.
make him
Yeah.
laugh? If Hitler was at a comedy show, would you want to make him laugh?
I want to make everyone laugh,
He
regardless
doesn't deserve it.
of race, creed, belief system,
Yeah, I think that's
overwhelming
natural.
anti-Semitism.
Yeah. They really get your humor.
If I'm doing a lot of pro-Semitism jokes, and I see that one guy in the crowd is not laughing, I'm gonna sprinkle.
Switch.
You got it, man. You're
I'm
a
gonna
giver.
sprinkle. I'm
That's what-
watching that guy and watching his mustache twitch and saying, "How can I get that womb broom to turn into a full smile?"
Yeah.
He would love you.
Would it be bad for your career if like if they found your comedy on like Osama's hard drive? I think it would be good.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't know. I don't think it would be bad. No.
No.
It's
I don't know.
I'm Osama's favorite comic.
It'd be so random.
He had funny shit on his hard drive
Yeah.
because he had Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle smoking a joint with like 2 bottles of pouring lean behind him.
Yeah, he had memes.
He had like
He had
good.
memes.
He was like a good curator.
That's
He would have
Yeah,
loved
that's
you,
crazy.
Francis.
He had memes on his hard drive. That's how you get memes in Pakistan.
Literally, like he had like
You have to get.
Selling them on the street. 25 memes
no, they were on the NFT.
Yeah, he had
game.
that there.
in
He
the,
had,
that's what he had.
he had that on his hard drive, dude.
in the bazaar.
Yeah, he had the Gandolfini squeezing SpongeBob. I don't know if any of these are true.
That'd be amazing.
He was an anime guy.
You either loudly are or aren't.
Yeah.
Julia Louis Dreyfus,
Yeah, she's probably, I would call her a goat.
goat woman that dudes who hate women still fuck.
Fuck with. That's goat sitcom woman.
That's pretty
Yeah.
specific. I was going to say goat, female, comedic actor,
Actress. Yeah,
period.
That's fair.
easily.
Like
Big time Nepo baby.
Didn't know that.
Like
Well-
insane wealth, right?
Yes, but I don't know that her parents had anything to do with Hollywood.
No. But she was never.
She's a bit
struggling.
an heiress. She is an heiress.
Mhm.
I think her dad was either in like pharmaceuticals or something.
Billions
like
and
that.
billions of
billions of dollars. But her success is so independent of that
Yeah,
I think.
but isn't
that,
it easier to get into the arts and be bold when you don't really have to worry about?
I don't know, man. I gotta say, like, that didn't help me at all.
Sure,
It just means you have a nicer apartment as you're going to open mics. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I still had to
I
like.
agree.
I don't know. I having wealthy parents doesn't, unless they're in the field and know someone that they can connect you to, like Natalie Portman, right?
Yeah.
So her parents were star Hollywood agents,
I didn't know that.
and she got when she was a kid the movie with
Leon the
Professional, and then on to playing Padme and all of that.
Also in Heat.
Yeah.
In Heat.
Was she in Heat?
Mm-hmm. She's the daughter.
Damn.
You could argue because of the fact that like her parents were like telling casting agents and producers.
Sure. I just think it might be easier to take risks when you have a little bit of safety.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I don't know. I mean, you could also argue like, well, this is silly, but like from my experience,
I don't.
everyone,
I don't.
the
lump
whole
you-
time I was doing it, people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I'm not lumping you in. Yeah, of course. I'm not lumping you into this.
I know, and I don't take it personally. There is a flip side to that, which is like for the first 2 or 3 years as I was doing comedy, the whole time I was like, what the fuck am I doing? This is a waste of time. I should be taking my life seriously. And that's why I started trying to go to law school.
And all of your
'Cause
peers.
everyone around me was like, dude, you're a joke.
Did any of your peers like sit you down, like classmates, be like, "What? You're really fucking up"?
No, but nobody took me seriously. Nobody respected me.
Yeah,
And that sucks.
that sucks big time.
That sucks a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of like, the people related it to me being a ski bum for a couple years as I figured out what I wanted to do.
Damn, that's.
That's what they called it. Someone said that to me once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hurtful.
Do you think they're just bad people? Or
Yes.
they're just blind
I think
to
that
reality.
I think part of it is that just the concept. I wasn't like that funny, so nobody believed it would work
But
out.
if you were successful,
I'm sure
the
you were
gate,
always.
no, I was outspoken. I wasn't that funny.
You don't. You.
I think you were always funny. It's just
I wasn't funny like you guys are.
you're naturally funny.
Yeah, you are, dude.
I that's kind.
And you have a pen.
And by the way,
You're funny with a pen.
but I hadn't done any of that stuff. I wasn't at like school or whatever, right?
I don't think
you weren't
should have
immersed
enough
in it. You weren't immersed in it. Were you like surrounded by clowns who did like?
No, I wasn't in the Lampoon. I wasn't.
Yeah. How old were you when you met your first goofball?
So you didn't even
Like in middle school or something. But
Okay.
there were far funnier kids growing up. I just was always the guy who was willing to like go as close to the edge of getting in trouble for a laugh as possible.
That's funny.
But I wasn't making everybody laugh. I just took the biggest risks.
Fair. All right.
Yeah.
So legend, not goat.
She's a goat.
Julie, okay. Mike Rowe, obvious goat.
Wait,
Who's
goat of what?
next?
Discovery Channel.
Francis Scott Key.
Wait, no. Mike Rowe is the goat of what?
Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs.
I know who it is.
He's the goat star host.
Ooh.
Host who was the star of his show.
Oh.
No. What about Bourdain?
Yeah, Bourdain.
Bourdain or Jeff Probst,
I mean, the way he blended
Simon Cowell.
comedy with occupational filth.
Yeah, but you're being very specific with these goats.
You're retrofitting your goatness.
Mike Rowe, the fact that we're talking. Damn, I think he's a goat of hosting.
He's the goat of voice.
He's got a good voice.
Fantastic voice.
Mhm. He's
Fantastic.
educational, inspirational, philanthropic. I mean, you remember some of those.
Do you think he's ever done the joke like
was
that
getting
he has a
into-
micro penis before, like with a chick, and then it's huge?
He's had to have.
Told you.
You know, he's got to have a big dick. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's a legend.
We talked about what did we talk about him before with?
One of his best episodes.
Yeah.
Was it the pig farm?
I thought it was like no.
Was it the Mobile, Alabama barber shop?
I don't remember that one either.
What was it? The casino buffet recycling?
I don't think so. I think it was
it the Roe v. Wade?
It was Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
He had to wade through a flooded
flooded Planned Parenthood.
post Katrina in New Orleans.
Yeah, he had to go clean up the Planned Parenthood.
To clean up the Poe fetuses. Covered in fluids and yeah.
That's the dirty job.
That's the dirtiest job he had.
Yeah. So he's maybe a legend.
No. Okay, fine. Legend, but not goat.
I got
wouldn't even
one.
say legend.
I got one.
Yeah.
American Sniper.
Chris
Chris
Kyle.
Kyle.
Chris Kyle.
Is he from Maryland?
I don't think so. He's Texas.
Oh, we're just talking about general legends.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Wait, you just pulled him out of
I
nowhere?
mean, there's a
I was
lot
thinking
of legends
goats. I
throughout
forgot
the
all these
world.
people were from Maryland.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's
Did you
getting
ever have
there.
a dirty job?
It's getting crazy.
Did I? Did Francis?
Mhm.
I bartended at a
That can
sports
get
bar.
That's
Oh,
filthy.
a sports bar is filthy.
You know what sucked about it was just your hands would get so pruny. That's what I hated.
okay,
That by the
yeah.
end of the night,
you were in the
I
thick.
had wiped down the bar and spilled so many shots and so much liquid over my hands that my hands were just pruny, and I hated the feeling of them.
Nobody likes their hands being pruned, I
No.
don't think.
it's
And even
Have you
on
ever had a dirty job?
big time at the concrete plant.
Shit, I forgot about concrete
The
plant.
concrete plant was adjacent to the shit plant in Wheeling
Oh my God.
on the ultra polluted Ohio
And hot
River.
days, brutal.
And I didn't have much to do. My boss was an obese man who just sat in his seat in his office the whole time, and he would piss in the trash can and have me burn it.
You had to burn this guy's piss?
He had me.
How do you go about burning piss?
I would burn the trash can that had his piss in it, and then I would just stand amidst the noxious piss fumes and stack cinder blocks.
That's like our moment in the show.
Yeah.
And he-
Remember?
Dude, that is the hardest I think I've laughed in 4 years.
Wait, what did you guys do? Oh, most dangerous
We were
game?
just like on Most Dangerous Game, and me and Francis were just chilling by the fire. And we're like, all right, let's finally go to bed. And Francis stands up to piss on the fire. And as he's peeing on it, the wind shifts and it produces this like insane plume of steam piss. And the wind shifts like directly like up his nostrils into his eyeball.
Engulfed.
You got your
Engulfed in your own
And
piss mist?
vaporized my own vaporized piss.
You could actually see like a
Like a cloud.
Oh
like
yeah,
a
I could
visible-
taste it. I could smell
No.
it. My pores were filled with it.
Dude, it was, and from
Your
my
pores
point
filled
of
with
view,
piss.
it was amazing. It like engulfed him. It was like he was self-immolating. at,
No
like,
way.
some
It looked like that
protest.
Rage Against the Machine album cover.
Stepping off stage at a magic show.
Dude, it was, and then he couldn't rotate because he was mid piss.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So
he
you
was,
just had to
and
sit
he
in
started
it.
screaming. He was like, oh.
inhaling your piss.
That's really funny.
We had to put out the fire because it was still well burning. So, that was what we decided to do. And didn't work out that well.
That was such I will cherish that
cannot
so much, dude. It
inhale
was
your own
amazing.
piss cloud.
It was like it was like what the closest I'll get to seeing World War One, someone getting just direct hit with mustard gas.
Wow.
It was incredible.
That's.
Wait, I don't understand why you'd have burned piss.
because he was too lazy to go to
Was
the
he one of the
bathroom.
biggest people?
He was
ever?
he was not ever. He was
Okay.
just standard very obese.
Okay.
But
But why didn't you just pour it out?
because he would piss in the trash can. You can't then it's like stuck to garbage.
Oh.
So you
Um,
burnt piss.
burn it by the river. But he did have to poop occasionally.
He wouldn't poop in the garbage.
Stop.
He would get in his truck and drive to the shed with the bathroom across the driveway. Like I could throw a pair of jeans and hit the bathroom from where he drove from. Yeah.
Jeans are not aerodynamic. I
At
mean,
all.
That's
You
what I'm
can't throw
saying.
jeans
Short-
very far.
A short
Yeah.
toss.
We should. Who do you think could throw the jeans the furthest out of us?
I'd like to think me.
how you doing it?
You can't wad them, can you?
You can't like wet them down.
Definitely can't wet them down. Can you crumple?
I think you can crumple.
You can't stuff them into their own pocket. You're saying you can't
I think you
create
could.
some cohesive.
It just has to
I don't think you can add
jean.
weight.
You can't.
No adding
can you-
weight.
Can you tie them?
Sure.
You can do whatever you want with the pair of jeans, but that's the only thing you're
Do you-
throwing.
is any?
Well, then it doesn't seem that hard. 'cause
Would you guys
could
like to
truly-
settle this?
What would be?
I actually have a strategy in my head.
I have a strategy in my head
I have
too.
a strategy
like-
in my head, and I already kind of lent a
You-
hint.
I'm
and I
not-
don't want. That means no.
Let's
nobody
find a
can do
pair of
exactly
Spoiler,
what
jeans
I'm
I
not going to
said.
try that. I
What?
think I would have a different
Let's.
Okay, good.
Okay, we'll end the episode with a gene toss later. Mook, yeah, we'll take your pants later.
Mm.
Would you? Are you free after mini golf to toss?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
I
love
got
to.
tons of time for gene tossing.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay,
I feel
we'll-
confident.
Yeah, we'll do the gene toss off.
I think, unbiased, it might be me.
Yeah, because anything throwing, you're like,
It
oh,
is
the
pretty-
best
I'm best
throwing.
at throwing.
It's like it's physics. I'd like to settle. All right, Francis Scott Key.
Yeah.
Legend.
Legend anthem writer.
Yeah.
I can-
No, legend. Writer.
Am I unpatriotic for saying that I still think that America the Beautiful? Is that the name of the song?
That's not our anthem.
Should be the anthem.
I think it should be "Proud to Be an American" by Lee Greenwood.
That's good.
Mm.
Keep up with the times a little bit. A more modern anthem, I guess.
Spangled isn't like catchy.
I don't know what
I don't
is
think
spangled.
it's beautiful. The anthem.
I know, but like what? I don't know what spangled means.
means.
Do you know that? I think that America the Beautiful. Is it America the Beautiful? Is that the name of it?
Oh, beautiful,
Yeah,
for
I know
spacious
what song you're
skies.
talking
That's
about.
the song,
I
right?
think that's the name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's that?
I think that is it.
I think it is
Yeah.
too. That I think should be the anthem. And Australia also has a national anthem and an unofficial national anthem. And most people think that the unofficial national anthem should be the anthem. Do you know what that song is?
No. The Veronica's Untouched.
What's an Australian AC/DC? Something from AC/DC or the Wiggles?
Waltzing Matilda.
Oh. Why would that be?
That's the song that everyone sings
I
there.
don't
They
know
love that.
How does that go?
Once a jolly jumbuck camped by the billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree. And he sang as he watched and waited till his billy boiled. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing
that is good.
Matilda.
Okay, I like that.
Waltzing Matilda. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
That should be it.
Down came the jumbuck to drink from the billabong. Up jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee.
It's
So good.
very Australian.
It's really
so
good.
good, dude.
That is really good. How did you know this?
Well, we used to have a thing called pachanga.
Who's we?
My school.
Okay.
I went to a very, very progressive private school from 1st to 8th grade. It was too progressive.
How so?
We had genderless bathrooms before everyone even knew what that would do to the toilet seats for girls. I mean, we had to have like sit down meetings.
Like literal sit down, like you got to sit down.
Demonstrations.
Okay.
Demonstration.
The boys were forced to sit on our piss spattered seats to
To
know
learn a lesson.
Yeah.
that we had to lift them up. But we had a Spanish teacher named Lynn, and she came in 3rd grade and changed everything.
This is in Maine?
Yeah, because up to that point, we were pretty much an English-speaking school. And then she kind of came in with her views and just made everyone think that we needed to learn Spanish. And she changed lower school sing, which happened on Wednesdays, to pachanga, which means the gathering in Spanish.
And what was the gathering?
And nobody even fact-checked that translation. I'm not certain.
It might not be.
It might have been like,
Was she a Spanish
all
woman?
wizard clan meeting. Nobody knows.
Was she a Spanish woman?
I never saw her papers, but like,
She was illegal.
She was definitely fluent. I'll give her that.
Okay.
So anyway, we would do a lower school sing. It was K through 5, and Mark Seeger, who was the head of school, and then the head of the music, Chris Bevan, would sit with guitars in the front of the gym, and then everyone would be in a sort of semicircle around them, and we would sing a bunch of songs.
And Waltzing Matilda was one of them.
That was one of the ones we sang.
Wow.
Oh,
No, the only Spanish thing, well, we did sing one other Spanish song altogether, and we would do it in rounds. Coco cocori cocori cora.
Your schooling was
Mi
your
gallo
K
se
through 8 was so
murió
much different than
ayer.
ours.
Mi gallo se murió ayer. Ya no cantará cocori cocora. That one. You know that one?
No, not at all.
We did a lot of songs in the round. We did one that went like this. Okay, I'm going to teach it to you guys. Can we just
Please.
try it really
Yeah, of
quick?
course.
Just humor
Yeah.
me for 1 second.
Of course,
Okay,
yeah,
so it goes like this. The first verse is the chickens got into the tomatoes. Right?
Okay.
Can you
The
do that?
chickens, the chickens, they got
The chickens got into the tomatoes.
the chickens got into the tomatoes.
Then the next one is even the rabbits inhibit their habits when carrots are green.
Even the rabbits inhibit their habits when carrots are green.
And then it's 7 squashes. Ready? Squash, 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 squash. So 7 of those.
Why?
Listen, you're asking the wrong guy. Again, I said Lynn had an agenda. I don't know what it was.
I didn't learn about squash till college.
yeah. Learn about squash.
Yeah, that was a whole. What do you mean? You had a school
I didn't
class?
learn about squash from this song either. I can't say that was what taught me about
What,
squash.
our music class was nothing.
By the way, you don't sing this. It's
just say
an
it.
incantation.
Oh, good.
So
Squash.
7 squashes, right?
Squash.
All right,
Squash.
So let's just try this really quick. So it's 7 squashes.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with Rudy with the first verse, right? The chickens got into the tomatoes. Even the rabbits inhibit their habits when carrots are green. But when he starts the second verse, you're gonna start the first.
Oh, I can't
verse.
do this. I can't.
And then you're gonna start after he's on to the second.
Okay.
Can we try it really quick?
The chickens got into the tomatoes. Even the rabbits who inhibit their
No. Who? Even the rabbits inhibit their habits when carrots are green. And then 7 squashes.
Squash.
Okay, so are you ready? Here we go. With Rudy to begin.
Wait. The chickens got into the tomatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the first one.
The chickens got into the toe.
The chickens.
No, you have to wait for his
Wait.
second one.
I have to wait until he's
Say
done.
second
You have to wait
verse.
till his verse ends. And we need to stay on rhythm here. It's very
Okay.
important, okay?
And then what is he saying?
He's saying the same thing you're
What
saying as you
demon was
move
this
on to
summoning?
the second verse.
And I'm saying the second verse while he's saying the first verse.
That's exactly right.
Fuck off. Okay.
By the way, we don't have to do this. In fact, I'm
Rabbit-
over it.
You're over it.
Rabbit.
Even the rabbits inhibits their habits.
when
So
they're-
Here's what I'll say.
We brought up a story from our school on the yak.
This all blends weirdly well. You'd think it wouldn't. They're very disparate words.
What was your favorite thing to do? The squash?
The squash was pretty fun because they always counted it out on their fingers. I remember Chris Bevan, I mean, he didn't have to use his guitar at this time, so he would go squash, squash. He's very demonstrative about it.
Yes.
It's as if he was telling people how to exit an
This was
airplane.
Chris Bevins?
Chris Bevan.
Yeah. Okay.
Whose daughter, Chloe, was wonderful. I don't know what she's up to.
You just had like a million thoughts rush into your head just now.
I feel weird right now.
5, 6, 7, 8. The chickens
got into the tomatoes. Kyle.
Even
chickens
rabbits
got
inhibit
into
their habits when
the
carrots are green.
tomatoes.
The chickens got into the
squash. No, you're not there yet, Kyle. God
Even
damn it. I was 5 when we got this.
Okay.
Oh well.
We have
You know what?
information.
Did you ever watch a teacher's surgery?
What's that?
Our science teacher, Miss Loafman, got back surgery and showed it to the class.
Yeah, we had to watch her surgery on television.
She got it filmed for us. And nobody believed us. We brought it up on the yak. But then some other people were like, yeah, our teacher had surgery and we watched it.
Okay, so it is a thing.
Yeah, I remember it vividly. I remember how yellowish
it was
orange
so
her back
gross.
was with whatever they rubbed on there.
Mm-hmm. It was a spooky
Iodine.
hue.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Iodine.
Miss Loafman. We only had her for 1 year.
Iodine's scary, man.
We had a run of just like, you know how the professor of dark arts in Hogwarts, it was just every year something would happen?
Yeah.
That was our science teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Iodine.
One of the teachers died in your sister's class, mid-class.
What?
Mr.
Wasn't
or-
it? It was defense against.
remember
the
that.
That's what it. What did I say?
Professor of the dark
Oh,
arts.
my fault.
They were defending against
They were
them.
some of them.
The chicken. The chicken.
I would have thought that would have been more fun. That didn't go the way I had hoped.
Well, it was. I think we just can't do it.
You wanted us to be like really good at it?
I just thought we'd have it.
I am tone deaf.
It was too hard.
It's not tone. I think it's rhythm.
Yeah, it's rhythm.
You don't have rhythm.
You have no rhythm.
None.
By the way, one last thing about Pachanga. This was
Tell us
weird.
about Pachanga.
We also sang 2 slave spirituals.
No kidding. What were your slave spirituals?
One went like this.
The water one?
Are you describing blues?
Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is a coming for to carry you to freedom. If you follow the drinking gourd. The drinking gourd is the Big Dipper, right?
Oh, okay.
Which points to the North
think
Star.
I've heard that.
We did
before.
wade in the water.
Wade in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. What is that?
It's another slave song.
We had another one that went like this. Come on up. I got a lifeline. Come on up to this train of mine. She said her name was Harriet Tubman.
Oh, I remember
She
that.
rode for the Underground Railroad.
Do you accidentally disconnect your Bluetooth playing this when you're on a sketchy train car?
Yeah, when I'm driving with my windows down and singing along.
Fuck.
Oh, man, my Bluetooth is...
Turn the
And I
volume
drive through Baltimore, I switch to Bob Dylan as quickly as possible. However, when I'm out running away at night, I do keep it as my compass. It's my guide song.
Follow the Big Dipper, yeah.
Yeah, where am I going again? Oh yeah, I live in Maine. Gotta get up there. I don't live in Maine. I live in New York. Yeah, but that did in
Pachanga.
hindsight, the fact that we were a predominantly white school felt a little cultural appropriation-y to sing those spirituals.
But you were learning them.
You were probably like,
You weren't doing it disrespectfully.
Except that when I would come home from spring break with cornrows in my hair, it took on a new meaning.
Oh, yeah. When you...
but you guys were probably not racist.
No.
You didn't have
Speak
any
for
field
yourself,
experience.
Kyle.
Oh, that's fair.
It was Maine.
But I'm saying you have no like direct field experience to be racist.
Field experience? Kyle?
You don't have any hands-on exam. Like you have nothing to be racist toward actively.
Field experience. Jesus Christ.
Thurgood Marshall, legend, or goat?
I don't know enough. Was he a Supreme Court justice?
I think so.
He's probably the most famous Supreme Court justice, no?
Not
The
anymore.
Marshall Court?
I think Ruth took it.
What?
Yeah. I mean, more people know Ruth Bader Ginsburg than Thurgood Marshall.
RBG?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of the names. Logic.
No, he's not a goat of what?
I guess not. Like popularizing calling the suicide hotline.
Yeah. He is the whitest guy that can say it.
So that was his thing. He came out as black.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Who is that all from Baltimore?
He's not a legend or goat. Kevin Durant. Yes. Maybe neither.
What's he? No.
He's in the discussion.
Of what?
Scores.
Legend,
It
maybe, but
specifically
like
scores.
yeah,
Okay,
he's a legend.
He's a legend.
Twitter user.
Goat is better than legend. No,
Tough
Yes,
time
goat's
with this
better.
Mike.
it's
It's horrifying.
He's a legend.
Tom Clancy.
Goat.
I like that.
Goat. War author.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
That was a
Splinter
great
Cell.
game.
Goat war author. Frank Zappa.
Goat.
Of
Weird
course,
guy.
of
No, he's not a
course.
goat.
Maybe not. Pete Sampras.
Was a goat.
Yeah. Gervonta Smith, I think is the name.
Who's that?
I think he's a goat boxer.
Davis?
Smith.
Is it Smith?
Little guy.
Oh, it's Davis.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, David Hasselhoff.
Black China.
Black China is probably a legend.
No. That's
I don't know.
speed streams right now.
Oh yeah.
No.
That-
Oh, she spells it with one C,
And
no
who-
K?
Who is that's right.
As in the Italian blatch?
That's why I think that's what she does.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
That's an Italian
who's
woman.
Blueface's baby mama?
oh, who's Blueface's
Uh,
baby?
what's her name?
Krishan.
Krishan.
Yeah.
Krishan Rock.
Krishan and Krishan Jr.
Her name's Black China, but she was born Angela Renee White.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
She really rebelled.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. You guys ever think about changing your name?
I think if like somebody in my family, like if my dad got caught in like a huge scandal, there's so
Last
few
name.
Terranies.
Yeah.
I think I would change it.
But if you had like your pick though, like if you're doing a stage name like Black China,
Oh.
Say like we were musicians.
or a Barstool employee.
Yeah.
I'd be White Nepal.
That's
White
cool.
Nepal is good.
I always wanted to be Perkins Cole. That was always an alter ego I would use. First name Perkins, last name Cole. Thought that would be cool.
Perkins Cole is awesome.
Thank you.
Continue that.
Yeah,
Perkins Cole? Yes.
that's a really good name.
I love Perkins Cole.
It's
I
like-
want to be Perkins Cole.
You can't be Perkins Cole. You just Elton John'd me.
I'm Perkins Cole.
No, you're not,
You're
dude.
Dean Jones. No, you can't. I have to be Dean Jones.
You're Dean
Fuck.
Jones.
Yeah,
I
you
call
already
you
did
Dean
this.
Jones more than your actual
Yeah.
name.
All right, I'm Dean Jones. You can be Perkins Cole.
But you're not going to say it because you're jealous.
I'm not going to call you it.
But you're seething right now.
Oh my god, that's good.
I'm Perkins Cole. It's good. It's not a bad name. You don't like it?
It feels backwards to me. Maybe that's your point.
I think Perkins is just like a cool name. It's like everybody loves it when Perkins shows up and then just a strong last name.
I know. I just keep wanting it to be Cole Perkins, but that's too obvious.
Sorry, I can't do that.
Mm-mm.
I understand. You're not a bibliography.
What would you be, Francis?
Did you get that?
Because of the last name first.
Correct.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it too much. You know, I'm pretty happy with my name. It doesn't exactly jump off the page, but it doesn't.
Frank Ellis sounds like a old baseball player.
Yeah,
I think it fits you pretty well.
it's fine. Yeah, I really like the last name Ellis.
It's a good last name.
It feels historic to me.
Like the island.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
mm-hmm. It's old. I like that.
You'd be a cool Sylvester.
Sylvester.
Rudy
Ellis?
Junda seems like a fake name.
It does.
We got Ellis Island.
What you got? They wrote it wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still Junda, but it was DZUNDA, but still pronounced Junda, which is
That would have been a
on
nightmare.
some Slavic shit.
Shonda.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's
would
a
have
good
been a
name.
Yeah. Yeah, Francis, I think like a Sylvester Typhoid.
You like that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sly?
Yeah.
Sylvester
Sly Typhoid.
It's no Perkins Cole at all.
It's not.
White Nepal feels like a really big departure from yours.
Yeah,
I feel kind of
White
silly.
Nepal.
it's not bad.
WYTE.
I need to address some rumors somebody sent me
What?
on the Yak Reddit. Somebody sent me a screenshot. Somebody's accusing me of having a pencil fetish.
There it is.
They did,
Got you there.
and I just want to say you're absolutely right.
They've done.
They did a lot of research that made me realize that I talk about pencils a ton. And like, I guess pencils have been brought up on the yak like 86 times, or no, like 94 times, and 86 times I was the, I guess, is catalyst.
And you would weave them in unseamlessly. You just like, what? I noticed this. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know? Was it you that made it?
Yeah.
Somebody really did research, and I think I do love pencils, and that's a fine thing to like.
To fetishize.
I don't fetishize pencils.
Do you know that Frankie Borelli collects them?
What?
From golf courses.
Oh,
The scorecard pencil is a keepsake, and many golf courses will have their own branded scorecard pencil.
Okay,
quite
that's
short, quite short.
they're tiny. Yeah, they're very small.
Some people will create a display in a frame of all the pencils of all the golf courses they've played.
Do you collect anything?
I have historically, yeah. In fact, I could probably trace my life from one obsession to the next.
I think a lot of us can. I've been like that.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're a phase
I'm
guy.
a phase guy.
But you've never collected.
I've never collected. As a kid, I did quarters, pennies, rocks. But what do you collect?
Well, I go back as early as it was Power Rangers action figures. Then it was Star Wars action figures.
I did that.
And I remember Caleb Slabbert broke the lightsaber, the green lightsaber from Luke. And I told him that they were so hard to replace, but he didn't care.
I lost the wings to my Greedo, which was a real shame. Not as bad as losing a lightsaber, but a Greedo without wings.
Yeah.
What is
But
that?
I feel if you play with them, you're not collecting them.
No, correct. Well,
I was a keep in the box kid with some stuff.
really?
Yeah, some Star Wars stuff. I had like the dueling Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Darth Maul figures. Kept them in the box. Never put batteries in them. And I think my mom sold them at a garage sale. All that for nothing.
I used to
It's
love
fun.
collecting the. I guess I would play with them, so I don't know if it counts. But remember, I think it was McFadden, the little miniature football players.
Yeah, those were cool.
They had like Ricky Williams.
Those,
and
yeah, they
then,
still
like,
do that.
Deuce McAllister.
I was a Pog guy too.
What's that?
Pogs.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pogs
yeah.
were big, but that didn't catch me. It didn't sink its talons
The
into me.
Boy Scouts in our area sold Pogs.
They did.
Yeah, Logan Seidler. I bought them off Logan Seidler.
I totally forgot about those.
Then I
Very
went to
nice.
basketball cards, then Magic the Gathering cards.
You were a Magic the Gathering guy?
Collected them, never knew how to play the game.
Oh, I played the game for too long.
I
Really?
was a poser. Yeah.
The cool artwork. My mom thought they were satanic, and that's what made me want to get into them.
Yeah.
My older cousin Tommy gave me his hand-me-downs.
That's pretty cool.
I got my hand-me-downs from a very heavily smoking household, though. I thought stormtroopers were yellow for like 10 years. I watched the movie. I was like, what's this bootleg shit?
Boy, these stormtroopers are quite jaundiced. Somebody get these boys some apples. Dan Bridgman taught me how to play some abbreviated version of the game.
Okay. It's fun.
I would have liked to have learned it better. And then from there, I got onto model cars, sort of
Were you building them or just buying them as a
them.
whole? Yeah.
Yep. And then the NBA really got into me. Jerseys,
Okay.
Mhm.
basketball cards, big time. From there, I
But
don't
nothing now.
know. No, right now I'm in a bit of a freeze, self-imposed freeze. I don't know if you've seen the state of the economy, but
I don't pay attention.
this isn't exactly the time for me to be indulging a new fetish.
I've been reckless with Pokemon cards lately.
New commercial fetish. Yeah, you've been on a Pokemon bitch?
I just buy them graded. I buy the weird. I've been reckless.
Wow.
Reckless.
I saw the ones you picked up.
Those were that wasn't even a percentage of like the ones I have.
What's the most that you would be willing to spend at this time on a Grail Pokemon card?
I think I have everything I really want.
You don't want a black shadow, first edition
PSA
Charizard,
A shadowless Charizard.
shadowless Charizard.
That's like 20 grand, and like why?
What? But it's crazy how if you get a PSA
I never liked
7, it's 20 grand. If you get a PSA 8, it's like
I've
100.
never been a Charizard guy. And mine's not about value. It's about the ones I've always wanted and liked, I guess.
yeah.
I'm not really because selling that would be impossible.
I stole Charlie Thurston's Charizard.
I ripped off a girl for her Charizard. I'll never forget it, but I hated her. She was a girl that I was a Lutheran when I switched into St. Vincent's.
Ew. Okay.
And Lutheran, it's better that you got individual little cups for drinking your wine instead of sharing a fucking cup with fucking denture debris.
You guys were shallow.
Lutheran's Protestant, right?
I don't know. I think it's its own thing, but it's probably closest to.
Gotta be Protestant. Martin
Yeah,
Luther,
Martin, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He
then he
was
left the
95 Theses,
yeah,
protesting the
left
Church of
the
England.
church.
Yeah.
I switched when I was like in kindergarten, so I had to take confirmation classes with like the public school kids.
Ew, yeah.
Like, ew again. And
Gen
there was a
Pop?
girl I was yawning after in like the class, and every time I yawned in class, she would in my mouth. She would blow, and I hated her.
In your mouth?
She was a twin. I despised her, and so she had a Charizard, and I traded her a couple Charizard of the Topps version for her real one. And that's the only
You got the
Charizard I ever had. I
Charizard.
still have it to this day.
Well,
Yeah.
you ripped her off, you're saying?
Yes.
Because that was an unfair trade?
Yes.
I remember wanting a Charizard more than anything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then once you get it, what do you do?
You look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You do look at it.
You let it,
You
the light
yeah.
hit it.
I
in
have it.
different
It's not
ways.
shadowless. I got a shadowless Gyarados today, though.
But you just bought it.
Yeah, it's in my bag. It's not as fun that way.
Do you think? I think the beauty of card collecting is not like paying large amounts of money because you have the means for one specific card. It's to
Pack them, like
To
get a
collect.
pack and then get
I
it.
think this is. I
trade,
think this
to
is
haggle.
me crying out for my last time. I was truly happy.
Yeah, there's a nostalgia.
yeah. If it's,
factor.
well, there's a respect to that too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I was obsessed with that did bring me the most happiness was a Razor scooter
Oh my God, yes.
with shocks and a wheelie
wheelie bar.
Yeah.
Dude, the
You had the one with the shocks.
Dude, I went all out. I mowed so many lawns.
God damn. I had the. What color was yours?
Green. I got the green, but dude, it was so back ordered that I remember just every day desperately hoping that when I got home from school it would finally have arrived, and it didn't. And then one day it did come.
I got mine on Christmas. I had the black. I wanted the black one with clear wheels, black handles, clear wheels.
Mm.
Good God, they rocked.
That was. I got a micro.
That was the brand of scooter you had?
Yeah, not a razor.
You never had a Razor?
No.
I mean, they'd be super practical for like now. I would love it.
Dude,
Nah,
when
I-
I first moved to New York, I rode a scooter.
Same.
A
I bought
Razor
one.
scooter.
Push scooter.
Yeah.
I had a bigger wheels though, much bigger. I would push it.
YP gave me a legitimate Razor scooter.
You had a Razor
Yeah,
and you were taking it around the city?
I'd take it to work.
They're
yeah.
foldable. They're really awesome.
It actually
You think
is
it's
a,
practical?
So fun.
I do
think
think
it's
it's very
efficient?
practical.
in
Yes.
New York. It actually is a very
Yeah.
legitimate, good way to get around the city.
Skateboarding is not efficient.
No.
No, I tried to rollerblade to work one time, and it was
That
it,
can't.
it
That
felt
can't
like
be.
the
That-
Trail of Tears.
That
It
just,
was-
it's like what? I remember from the commercial.
It's fucking terrible,
it was-
dude.
I remember the marketing. It was 8 pounds, foldable. It was like a bunch of business people putting them into their backpacks.
I can feel the handlebars right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
they're
that
soft.
felt.
Yeah.
But what were you doing on them? Any tricks?
I remember they were too low. They would alys like bottom out. I think I could jump.
I got to a point where I could do a tail whip.
No, you couldn't.
I did, and that felt really, really cool.
That does.
The
Yeah, I'm
problem
jealous.
with it was that if you didn't get it right and you hit yourself in the shin,
Horrible.
it was the worst injury one could sustain. And there's a guy, and maybe you've seen him on Instagram, who does these workout videos where
Oh, I saw him that he spins razors into his shins.
he's doing
Yeah.
squats and he sends them on a swing somehow to bash him in the shins as he does it. I don't understand. I get the bit. I just don't get how much time in between videos is he going?
Yeah, this is fucking insane.
because you really need to let this heal before you can.
'Cause that has
film.
to break
What is
skin.
that doing? Is that making his
It's just a
workout
toughness
better?
it's an attempt to go
thing.
viral. No,
Yeah,
it's,
it's not a tough.
that's fucking horrible.
I like to think that there's just a family waiting. They're like,
Please
my
let
son-
us use
can
the
my
merry-go-round.
son Get on the merry-go-round.
It's hard to
please?
watch, man. I have a hard time with that.
I love my and yeah, Mook, I can feel those handlebars.
I can smell them.
I love that sensation. Like they said, like you can look at something and you know exactly how it would feel on your tongue. It's how the brain works, and that I can just
You
I
can
can
taste?
I, I think my dad caught me sucking on the end of the fucking razor because I remember like there was like a string at the end of the handle. You could put. I was doing it with my teeth, and I think my dad caught me doing that.
Yeah, I get it though. I would want to taste that.
Yeah,
I would always chomp on like the Xbox controller appendage, lick it.
I got like a grip of a calculator stuck in my braces once,
It's
and I had to
fun to
go
eat.
to the orthodontist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was never a pencil or pen chewer though. I thought that was gross.
Oh, I can taste it.
I'm a kid in our class, our music class, and Mrs. What was our music teacher's name?
We had a few. Mrs.
Fowler?
Romanek.
No,
Mrs. Flatley.
Flatley. Mrs. Flatley's class. Schilling Rodacher choked on a pen cap, and she had to give him Heimlich.
Oh my god.
He had more pens than he did most food. Like to this
He was
day,
pen, yeah.
he was a pen eater.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Is this a
Oh.
real Sophie Turner autographed card?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Mook has a
Mook's
crazy
got a cool collection.
Mook's deep in the game.
Yeah.
You have a Jack Gleason card?
Oh yeah.
There
Holy
isn't an
shit,
IP real or fake that Mook doesn't have like
Some
card
sort of
Like,
proof.
I
that-
think
yeah.
he has an ET signed card.
Sean
Rookie card.
Jackson. Jeez.
I'm into it.
Cool collection.
Wow, dude. Good for you. Sorry, I'm sorry to.
What's your most expensive piece?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now, I used to have a lot. I sold all my big stuff, but like I probably have like $1,000-$1,500 card.
Jesus.
Yeah,
what was
that's
that?
crazy. I had a Justin Herbert rookie that was worth like $3,500. I sold it at its peak, but
Good for you.
I spent with like shipping and fees, but it was $560 for that Yankees ticket.
Yep.
Which was stupid of
Yeah.
me.
Dude, this is nuts.
dude, that shit's so fun. We're getting the boys back.
Get
the
into
car.
it,
The
friend.
superscripts, you have the autographs of Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, Ben Roethlisberger, and Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich, you'll remember, broke his leg playing for Marshall and was
Mhm.
carried down the field by his offensive lineman
Do you remember that?
in order to, only after that board a plane that would land in a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn shame. A
So
damn-
So it's like,
that.
well, why did it even matter if he healed his leg or not?
I almost went to school there.
Byron. Marshall, Chad Pennington,
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. Their soccer team won a national title
Yeah.
recently, which is weird.
Where is Marshall?
Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh,
The pits of Appalachia.
Yeah, it's bad down there.
Mm.
did you guys read Hillbilly Elegy?
JD?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I heard the movie adaptation was pretty poor.
I think it was it a movie or a sort of a miniseries with Amy
I
Adams?
wouldn't know. It sounds like you do.
Who's this, Salinger?
JD Vance.
Oh. And what is it about? Is it a biography?
Yeah, it's his
It's
autobiography.
his mom was, he's a Kentucky guy, or Ohio, Southern Ohio.
That's where he moved to, but he was originally from Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay.
Southern Ohio is firmly Appalachia.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It was a good book. I really enjoyed it.
Was it actually?
Yeah. His views were pretty different than
It's tough. Yeah, I think it'd
than
be
now.
like, you couldn't read that on like the subway train right now, right? Would you get?
Dude, people loved it when it came out. I mean, he wrote it in, I don't know, 2012 or something like that. When it came out, both sides loved it. It was an interesting and measured snapshot of like poor white people,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
we can be poor too.
Yeah, and we can.
Just so
That's
you know,
important.
It's hard to even fathom.
Not me.
It's important to know.
I'm
What
sure
are you
there
reading?
are
You're reading
some.
that Grant book right now.
Yeah, I'm almost done with
Would
it.
you recommend it?
Yeah, well, I like dense biographies of interesting figures. So if you're into that, great. But there's other ones that I would start people on.
Can I get that? Because I want to get into the people.
You're reading about. You want to read about people?
Yeah.
Read about
I
people.
want to get into that.
Yeah, the Truman biography by David McCullough is unbelievable, and it reads much more quickly. That's an unbelievable book.
Okay.
Truman, I like. There's so many biographies of Washington and FDR and Kennedy, but when you get some of the sort of, a lot of people agree that Grant is the most underrated U.S. president ever,
Mm-hmm.
because not many people know much about him. People know about his war record and him as a general, but as a president,
Ulysses is a good name. Maybe the best named president.
yeah, it's good, right?
Reminds me of Perkins Cole.
Yeah, you
Grant Ulysses would be a better name.
And it wasn't his real name though.
What?
No, that's not what he was named.
He had a pen name for the presidency?
I think he was named. What was it? Can you look that up? There was some kind of
Ulysses?
mistake. One of his teachers called him the wrong thing, and then he just changed it or something.
James Joyce? No.
No, not
Hiram.
Ulysses S. Grant. You got to do.
Born in
Oh, maybe it's that the S
Hiram.
means nothing.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
that.
how do you say that, Kyle? Hiram or
Hiram.
Hiram Ulysses Grant?
There's a great passage in this book about how he was not buddies, but like Mark Twain was obsessed with him. And in a celebration of Grant's presidency after it ended, there was a dinner that Mark Twain had written a speech about him for. And it was kind of a roast.
Oh, cool.
And Grant famously was this very serious guy. He didn't talk much. He kept the same expression on his face. And Twain was desperate to make him laugh. And he had written like some jokes about him. And the whole theme of the speech was comparing him to a baby. And he said that his like early role of being a general was him being an infant, and then when he became president, he was a toddler. The whole goal of which was to somehow try to find a way to fit his foot in his mouth, and then his like punchline was that something like based on his success alone, you'd have to say like, he was able to fit the whole foot in his mouth. I don't understand it exactly, but the whole room burst up laughing and Grant like fell over. And then Twain was so excited about having been able to make the president laugh that he wrote all this stuff to his wife about like, I made him laugh.
No way.
I made
That
him
would be
bend
a
over
tough
laughing.
feeling. So he actually did. He like really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I was Googling the other day. I forget it, but I was trying to like the first recorded joke, like the first ever written joke.
Yeah.
And I think it has about a dog. Or it might be one of the second ones. Oh, was it toilet humor?
Yeah.
What
Was it a poop joke?
19. What did it say? BC.
It was how do you entertain a bored pharaoh? You sail a boatload of young women dressed only in fishing nets down the Nile and urge the pharaoh to go catch a fish.
It's not
No, that's not.
particularly funny, but I like it.
There was one I read.
pretty regional.
Look up the first bar joke, like the first walked into a bar.
A dog walked into a tavern and
Yes.
said, I can't see a thing. I'll open this one. That was 1900 BC
Yeah.
Sumeria.
Yes, that's the one I was looking at.
I don't get it, but
I don't get it, but I
sounds
laughed.
really funny.
Wait. Let's figure this
A
out.
dog walked into a tavern and said, I can't see a thing. I'll open this one.
I'll open this.
I don't know.
Barkeeps or bar owners were blind.
Or I think it's because like the dog is too low to see.
A dog walks into a tavern.
Nobody knows if it's funny. People like have been trying to find the humor in it, and it's too lost in time to find the
That's
humor.
interesting.
Huh.
But I think it would be a cool thing to like find the meaning of.
There definitely was like a caveman at one point where like he was like just walking by his buddy and just sack tapped him.
Sack tap was probably the first joke, or gut your nose.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to memorize more is like just like common street jokes. I think they're so fucking funny.
They are. Well, in a way.
I love the idea of the first guy who did the separated thumb, and then people being like, burn him at the fucking
Yeah,
stake.
that first guy that did it died
Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first guy that ever did the goat where he put his nuts or did the mangina, they beat him with clubs.
They probably thought he was a woman.
Yeah. But that's a funny dude. There was probably some funny fucking cavemen.
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I think they were probably bad.
I mean, they would do one joke at the expense of another, and I think probably just got murdered. But
One who just had a lot of fruit was probably
The funniest one.
Yeah. He's probably so happy and cocky.
I think you had to fight for survival so much that there wasn't
Yeah.
humor wasn't a thing yet. Like the first bored human was probably well down the line of humanity.
well.
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know though, dude.
Being bored is a huge
But you
luxury.
just
It's a
read
luxury,
Sapiens.
I just read Sapiens, and I don't think people were
But
bored.
dude, no, they were like when they were nomadic tribes, they worked less than we do now.
Right, but they were just chilling.
Yeah, that's
They weren't
boredom.
bored though.
Chilling was awesome. It was probably like paragliding.
I also think
The first person to chill was probably
holy shit.
probably had to teach people.
Why am I scared?
It's the equivalent of a wingsuit right now.
but you got to remember too that boredom is enhanced when stimulation grows, and then in the absence of that stimulation, right? So there was a time when reading a long, dry book was scintillating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I could argue we're more bored now
Because
in between
there's so much.
seasons of White Lotus.
We're
Do you know what I mean?
comparing
Yes.
everything to short form video content that's curated to our own interests that we can watch in mass for as long as we want.
Right. Whereas
Yeah.
100 years ago, having to wait until the next book was published, you were a little more patient and able to fill that time with other
Or you could just look at
diversions.
You could literally just sit outside and look at a mountain.
Yeah.
I can't even watch a plot develop anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Hurry it
I'm gonna
up.
go look at YouTube.
White Lotus was too slow of a burn for me.
Yeah.
Gave it up. It's bad.
I tried to watch the Fens Treasure documentary
Mm-hmm.
and I gave up after 10 to 20 minutes. It was too.
But it's even different. Like if I'm watching it on a TV, I can do longer. But like if it's a phone video or like a something here, if it's over 15, I'm just like, okay, I have to really commit to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll usually have it real tall on the real small on the top corner of my phone as I'm doing something else.
I watched The Brutalist and I still wish.
Was it 3 hours?
I mean, yeah. It was just, I feel it really set me back.
Back. What do you mean?
Well, what I could have done in that time.
In 3 hours though?
That's how I felt.
It
after
felt
The
longer,
Irishman.
man. It was longer. It was longer than that. And there was an intermission during which I took a nap.
Oh wait, you were in the theater and saw it?
No. I saw it at home. And it said intermission and I
you listened.
paused it,
Oh come on.
napped, and then started the second half.
It's too long. The movies are too long and too serious.
Right. Like I don't even have the attention span for food.
What do you mean?
Like even meals are getting too boring. Like every forkful of carbohydrates has to be covered in sauce and I have to have a phone in one hand.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
We need to do a retreat. Guys just stop getting together and throwing jeans.
We gotta have a gene off. We gotta heave some jeans.
Let's go heave jeans. All right,
All
Francis,
right.
thank you so much, man.
Do you
Thank you,
guys think
France.
you could? Oh, are we done?
We can.
Oh yeah, we're done. Do you think you guys could do a silent retreat for like a day or two? Do you think you could handle that?
I wouldn't give up.
Dude,
I was
when
committed
before
to it.
this job, I was living in Columbus and I didn't have internet. And I think I went probably a couple weeks at one point without talking.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I was really unhappy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then, if you were cast away on a deserted island,
One of my best
Would
skill
you
sets is
speak-
being alone.
would you speak out loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or would you just?
I think eventually I would speak out loud.
I speak out loud after like 20
I
minutes
think
of silence.
I pride myself in how good at being alone I can be.
Yeah.
I can entertain
Yeah,
myself.
I can do that.
I used to catch my dad speaking out loud when he was driving us places when I was a kid, and I thought he was crazy.
Mhm.
I just learned that comes with life.
Mhm.
Now I find myself doing it. I rehearse,
Like around the house.
practice things that I have to say that are going to be
Oh,
hard.
I do that.
Oh yeah.
Angry addresses,
Oh, okay. I practice like phone calls.
difficult conversations where I have to hype myself up. I rehearse them.
Well, like hypothetical or like ones you're about to have.
Well, sometimes I think that I'll have to have them, and then I get the whole
no.
speech ready, and then I don't gather the
I've
courage
never
to do it.
rehearsed. I just say like stupid voices.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'll say things out loud just to hear how they sound.
Damn, dude. Should I be rehearsing?
I'll reherse lingo.
You rehearse
Oh,
lingo?
yeah.
I'll be like, damn, you pressed, boy.
Dude, nothing more
By myself.
embarrassing than putting lingo in the wrong like form.
Oh yeah.
Like when I was a kid and I was shoehorning fuck into things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Saying something incorrectly or misunderstanding. I remember I misunderstood what a hand job was. and
That's
it was
right. Yeah.
damaging as fuck.
I wore my pants to school backwards one day,
Nick did too.
and it was so bad.
How do you even do that?
Oh my god,
do you
they
mean?
were filled with buckles and zippers, and they were pants that you could turn into shorts.
Oh, and you wore them backwards.
Let's just say there was a lot of accoutrement that made it hard for me to
They were
distinguish.
hybrids.
I wore tinted chapstick into high school one day.
Tinted
As a-
what?
Red? Tinted pretty burgundy, pretty dark, and I didn't know. I just took it from like the junk drawer that every house has before going to the bus stop. Put it on, made it to second period, looked at myself, and I went home sick. I went to the nurse and I was like, I don't feel good.
Couldn't wipe it
Yeah.
off.
I could. I did, but I was so fucking embarrassed.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I used to go to the nurse. I went home probably 15 times freshman to senior year because I had to shit. Played sick, had to shit.
Did you go to the nurse?
Yeah, well, I would to get sent home.
Oh, I would diagnose the nurse.
What do you mean?
She was covered in shingles.
Yeah, you saved her life.
You have shingles.
You sent the nurse home
you
sick.
have just growths all over your skin.
Well, she was
Some-
bumpy, but I don't think she had shingles.
Yeah.
No. All right. Thank you so much, Francis.
It's been a pleasure. Thank
Yeah,
you,
Francis.
We'll work on that song.
Oh no.
Oh man,
We won't. We'll never do it again.
we'll do it as we're tossing jeans. We'll sing slave hymns while we're
Yeah.
tossing jeans.
Or we get 3 rap.
Wade in the water as I'm hucking Lees and yeah. All right.
Appreciate you guys.
God bless. Kyle.
That's it.